32강을 뚫는 우승이 보인다. 죽음의 조 A조 IM MVP 정종현, OGS 하이퍼더 김유조, OGS MC 장민철, 스타테일 줄라이 박성준,
김원기 선수를 지명했습니다. 김유조 선수인가요?
페이크였어요.
네.
출신. 자, 박성준 선수입니다. 장민철.
이건 아닌데 시간을 되돌리고 싶었어요.
같은 조에 우승자가 둘이나 있기 때문에 부담이 되는 건 사실이고요.
저를 뽑아주시면 제가 저희 팀이 아닌 선수에 한해서 규종이 형이 원하는 선수를 뽑아줄 수 있어요. 저는 어떠신가요? 저 정도면 핵폭탄 정도라고 생각합니다.
와우.
다들 안 받아주셔가지고 힘든 조에 들어간 것 같은데
2011 소니 에릭슨 GSL 제뉴얼리의 우승을 거머쥔 GSL의 MVP 정종현. 그의 대테란전 승률 100%의 기록은 김유종에 의해 깨질 것인가 지켜질 것인가.
너무 쉽게 져가지고 그게 좀 많이 편했나 봐요.
생각보다 좀 쉽게 이긴 것 같아서 이번에도 좀 편하게 가려고.
정말 이기고 싶은 선수는 정종현 선수죠.
오픈 리그에서의 패배, 그 쓰라린 아픔을 씻어내기 위해 그를 선택했다. 줄라이 박성준.
그냥 찍었어요. 저를 이겨가지고 코드 A부터 진짜 힘겹게 올라왔거든요.
복수도 있고 성준이 형이 자존심이 되게 세셔가지고 죽음의 조에서 올라가는 생각은 하고 있었어요.
투신과 부통령의 만남, 두 선수의 리벤지 매치. 승리의 여신은 누구를 향해 웃어줄 것인지.
김민철 선수는 그렇게 어렵지는 않다고 생각하고요.
성준이 형이 테란도 아니고 저그기 때문에 편하게 경기하려고.
한 판 정도는 이길 수 있을 거라고 보고.
실력이나 빌드 같은 거에서 제가 무난하게 이길 거라고 생각하고 있어요.
막강한 조합. 하지만 승자는 단 2명뿐.
일단 저랑요 민철이가 걸림돌이 될 것 같아요.
박성준 1위, 정종현 2위.
성준이 형은 좀 힘들 것 같아요.
밑바닥에서 올라오는 게 얼마나 무서운지 한번 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
제가 바라는 시나리오는 유종이 형이 종현이 형을 이겨주는 건데 좀 현실적으로 보면은 아마 유종이 형과 하게 되지도 않을까.
스타2는 그 셋 중에서 제가 그래도 제일 오래 했다고 생각해요. 쉬운 상대라는 말은 하고 싶진 않아요.
과연 죽음의 문턱에서 살아 돌아오는 자 누구인가?
Welcome to the GSL Code S. I am Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. Artosis, the Archon, is back. How are you doing?
Tasteless. I was very sick yesterday,
Yes,
feeling
you were.
a lot better today. It's great to be back. High five. Oh!
Another terrible high five from Dan. No.
That's what I do.
Guys, it's so good to be back here casting the Code S games from for you, all you guys here. Of course, Code S, the biggest, bestest, most prestigious esports tournament in the world, GSL, bringing StarCraft 2 competitiveness from around the world. And, yeah, I'm very excited. Tell us about our players today.
Tasteless, the first group is the sickest group of death and
Yes.
Hyperdub that I have ever seen. It's
pretty good.
Poor Hyperdub, man. This guy has been constantly in Code S, constantly in the GSL overall.
Yeah.
But will he make it through tonight? No. I hope he plays well, but it's going to be so hard. Look at these champions. We have 3 champions in here. I'm MVP, the best player in the world at the moment. OGS MC, one of the best Protosses in the world and a previous champion. And July Zerg, one of the best Zergs of all time in the world ever.
I know. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough for Hyperdub. Hyperdub's certainly not a bad player by any measure. He's very talented, but unfortunately, this guy just keeps getting very bad luck whenever he's paired in these groups.
Yeah.
I think since the beginning, he's had some of the hardest opponents.
He has, and I feel bad for him, man.
I know.
It's a difficult spot to be put into.
Yeah.
But, even if he doesn't make it here, I bet you he will make it through the up and down matches. I think Hyperdub will probably be in the Code S for the rest of his life. I don't know. I see a pattern emerging.
So much rivalry here with all these guys. I'm MVP. I mean, he's taken out basically everybody. We were referring to him as the Game Genie Terran in the GSL Team League because, I mean, it's like, well, we're losing. You blow in your cartridge, stick in Game Genie, and you're like, okay, I got the cheat codes. I got infinite Marines, infinite micro, macro, everything. And
unfortunately, Game Genie did crash with the Pokemon game.
He
during
did.
The Team League.
It did. That was a shocker and upset. Nobody expected
Game
that.
Genie is weak against water. Don't wash those things out of water.
Do not.
Only with air.
July Zerg, as you said, just such a monster. StarCraft 1 legend. Turned StarCraft 2 pro gamer. let's throw up the schedule, though, on our screen here.
And that is quite a schedule indeed. That
right.
is a huge amount of games that you see in there.
As you can see, Codes basically going to be every other day. Codes will be casted by Ro32 and myself. Thank you, Kelly, for coming out from Singapore and helping us with Code A. As you can see, there will be a lot of days of live TV to cast back-to-back, so we appreciate her help very much.
That's right. I'll be doing it tomorrow.
Yep.
With her.
Tune in. Join us. Now, for Codes, as you can see, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Code A, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, basically. So, it's a lot of games. But as you can see for the second, here's the format, for our tournament. Round of 32, it's going to be the league format. Round of 16, we go straight into best of 3. Round of 8, all the way to the semifinals is a best of 5. And of course, when we get to the finals, we're going to have that be a best of 7.
Yeah, and of course, the 16 players that don't make it out of groups will fall down to the up and down matches. And those are always fun. We'll do those at the end before the finals of Codes.
And now on to the groups.
Today's
groups. Oh, go ahead, Ro32.
I'm MVP, OGS Hyperdub, July Zerg, and MC from OGS. That is a sick, nasty group. And then we're going to go on to Group B, which, Idra, as you all saw, I'm sure, is going back to the States, so he will not be participating. So that means Clyde will have a free win in the first round. He's the best player in the history of the world, so Clyde. I'm sure he'd get through anyways. And then it's going to be OGS Zenio versus Zenix Byun, who has changed his name, but we'll tell you that later. Then we have Group C, Liquid General, Pulp Prime, Rainbow, and Check Prime. Then Group D, Nada, The Best, Hongun, and Top.
Ro32 is going to do
Pesos, I'm sick.
almost as awkward as our high five. Now,
Pesos, I make that awkward on purpose.
Group E is going to have I'm ST, Sans, and Slayer's Boxer, OGS and Snare. I'm really looking forward to that. Group F, Choya Foyu, Foxlin, the famous Warcraft 3 player, Bonds, and The Wind. Group G, Trickster, Any Pro, MVP, Genius, Fruit Dealer. That's going to be an excellent group. And finally, Marine King Prime, Kirik, Zenith, SC Foyu, and OGS Inko, one of my favorite Protosses to cast.
Certainly. Something interesting to tell you guys. I'm sure you've noticed many of the IDs have been in Korean, but now every GSL Codes player has switched their IDs to English IDs for those of you
For
at
you
home.
Guys.
Yeah.
You people watching the English stream.
Because unlike us, you can't read Korean.
That's right.
You do read Korean, and then you're probably way better than us
You
at
spent
it.
that short amount of period of time learning Hangul.
That one day of learning Hangul.
Yeah, that does not actually take that long. Look, the Korean players got together and thought, all right, this wasn't quite coherent. Some names in Hangul, which is the Korean phonetic characters. Others in English. Some names we had phonetically spelled out that was in Hangul, which didn't come across.
Some of them were Hangul spelling English.
Yes, so we want to thank the players. Please show your support to the GSL Korean players for kind of coming together and trying to globalize for StarCraft 2 and basically saying, all right, we're just going to have this all in English, all going to be on the same page. So that was really cool of them. We appreciate that.
Yes.
So on to these games today, man. We got Hyperdub. I can see on our preview screen we have the Secret Girls. You guys won't have that on your stream. But we do have these Secret...
You get us instead. It's much better than the Secret Girls. I
mean, we're a little bit
hotter.
hotter.
You don't have the Secret Girls.
We're a little bit hotter.
Yeah,
but
far more handsome.
Just so you guys know, in case you're wondering what's on our screen, Secret, the K-pop band. If you don't know them, I guess YouTube, Secret and K-pop. Very popular out here, giving their opinions on the pro gamers that are going to be playing today. And I can see that on my preview screen right now. That looks excellent.
Oh, that's funny.
So we didn't get to talk about this as much because we had to bring up our schedule and everything like that. MC, this guy is first place GSL Season 3, dominating Reign in probably one of the most one-sided finals we've seen.
Next to that last finals that we just saw with MVP. So, pretty sick player. And there they are, our 4 stars.
Pretty diverse team lineup
here.
here.
Sick group. I think it's kind of obvious to everyone that MVP is a big favorite to come out. Everyone feels that, he's just kind of a little bit better than everyone else in the world right now. I think that the second person to come out is going to be the winner between July and MC, I have to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Hyperdub is definitely the underdog. You never know. He's good enough. He could take a game off somebody.
Oh, certainly. It's best of 1 format, so it is upsets are absolutely possible.
One thing I like about MC is is infinite confidence. I mean, the guy is, talk about great for TV, but honestly, a great attitude to kind of copy.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a pro gamer, some of these guys so modest. MC says, no, I actually know I'm the best.
Well, you know what's funny is there's actually someone with even more confidence than him, and it's Jelizer.
Oh, I know, but you see,
So we actually have the two most confident people in the world going up against each other. Whoever loses is not
all
going
we
to be
need
able
is
to
to put
accept it.
Artosis in the OGS Hyperdub box, the upper right, and we would actually just have completed the confidence pool of pro gamers here.
Yes, we would.
That MVP is confident, but not quite in the same way. I would say both July and MC somewhat borders on cocky,
Yeah.
and I like that.
That's the best type of confidence to have, Tasos.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's much more entertaining.
So is Artosis in the upper right box here. Now, Hyperdub, again, don't count this guy out just because he's overshadowed by these three players. Doesn't mean he doesn't have the ability to do this. And also note, you're definitely not going to want to be a Terran player in today's group, even if you're MVP. You had 3 matchups to practice.
Yeah, that's very true. And MVP, he's got like, what is it, Tasos? 97% wins in Terran versus Terran.
Something insane like that, yeah.
Yeah, his Terran versus Zerg, he's lost 2 televised matches since like season 2 or something.
And one was to Nesty.
Yeah,
and
one
what
game
was
to
the other
Nesty and one game to Hydra.
That's right.
And that's it. And those are the 2 best Zergs in the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy is basically this unstoppable monster. Now, let's take a look. It's going to be on Tal'Darim Altar, a good map.
This is either
5,000 points for GSL so far this season.
Yeah, for a ranking system here.
Over
what
10
they've
times
acquired.
as much as Hyperdub.
Yep.
In fact, over 11 times as much.
Very good.
Under 12 times as much, though.
So, we've got I'm MVP and OGS Hyperdub starting out our game today. Note the maps. They eliminated both 2 of the new maps, Terminus and Crevasse.
Almost 100% win rate, so yeah, I was
As
saying
you
about
said.
97 or something. Will Hyperdub break that record? I don't know. We'll see, man. Stop asking me. We haven't seen the game yet.
Guys got to settle down. It's going to start soon. No, seriously, you really don't see that with pro gaming statistics.
Yeah.
Almost 100% win rate. That's not normal in basically any sport.
Yeah, it's
to have something to be
pretty
lopsided.
crazy.
And I think it'd take a really, really, really good Terran player, probably better than Hyperdub, to knock this guy out.
It's going to take something special, Tasos.
When you see somebody who's that good in a mirror matchup, that's a real indicator of how well they know the race.
Yeah. You know, if I was Hyperdub, I think I'd be building my barracks in his base this game. I think that would be my goal.
Yeah, it's, wouldn't be shock me. I mean, you first of all, to lose to MVP, I mean, it's okay, but it puts you in such a bad position.
Well, you have to play either July or MC.
I feel bad for Hyperdub,
yeah.
honestly. But look, I mean, give the guy some props. He stayed in Code S. He's been consistent. He's a good, solid player.
He's a solid player. There's no question there.
And you know, OGS is very proud of him. OGS staying pretty solid.
I'm very proud of him, Tasos.
I'm proud of him. I want to give him an attaboy. So pretty soon here, we're going to get this game going. Of course, as we quite often say, Artosis and me are both laced with the Korean stream, but we don't wear the daddy pants with that, so we don't know when exactly the games are going to start.
No. It's
usually up to them.
Almost like roulette.
It is.
We bet. Sometimes we get it right, but normally we lose.
And then, you know, luckily we're good at recovering if we get that timing off. But judging from our in-game screen, the countdown's begun, so get ready for some pretty sick TVT action here. The first game of Codas, cast by Tasos and Artosis. The casting Archon here at the GSL, the biggest, bestest, most awesome tournament in the world. Get ready. In the red, at the upper left, the Game Genie Terran, champion of GSL Season 4, Codas. Getting in the zone here, you could see, rubbing his eyes. There's a little bit of downtime here before he has to pick up the APM. In the blue over here, this name always reminds me of dubstep, and I love dubstep.
I do too.
He is called none other than... Well, whenever they're ready.
You gotta do it quicker if it's Hyperdub.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Get some filthy beats out of there. Hyperdub.
There he is.
He's a really ambitious guy. He's really hardworking. And I think he had a good attitude going into this group. He wasn't one of these delusional players who's like, LOL, I will train so hard, I will win against everybody. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's just actually crazy. No, I think he's got a good attitude. He said, I really want to beat MVP. If there's somebody I could beat, it would be MVP. Well, by the way, we threw up a little graphic there of our sponsors, Intel and G-Skill. Thank you so much for supporting us in esports. We love you guys.
Yes, we do. Now, another thing, I feel sad almost. I feel bad for Hyperdub that we keep saying we feel bad for him, but we have to point out one other thing. This is the map that MVP played against Bomber on. And against Bomber, MVP went down by 70 supply during the GSL Team League and still won the game. So MVP has shown that against the other Terran that a lot of people say might be the best in the world, he's pretty unbeatable. So, I mean, coming back from a 70 supply deficit, Tasteless, I don't need to tell you how hard that is.
I think this... Oh, we got a little pause here. It looks like MVP paused the game. Might be a problem with his sound or monitor or something. Sit tight, guys. We're going to get this sorted out in just a minute here. We do apologize for the delay. This has happened more than once.
Yeah,
in esports history. And it's, part of what happens when you're using a computer. Computers aren't perfect.
What is the vehicle of esports?
Well, Dan, I'm glad you asked because I've never given this speech before in my life.
Haven't,
and I'm good at improvising it every time. Of course, the vehicle of esports is technology. Technology, not always perfect. But again, think about it. If you're like running in the field and your shoelace gets untied or something, well, we got to fix the shoe.
If you're playing a baseball game and it rains too hard for too long, they postpone the game. That's the same as a pause.
It's the same as a pause.
But guess what? Instead of getting wet and having to come back later
you
to your
get to
baseball
watch
game,
us talk more.
That's right. It's maybe even better than the early game TVT.
I would take listening to you and me talk over being rained on any day. And that's just the way I feel. You can't take that away from me.
Even if I was starving in the desert, I would rather listen to you talk than have life-saving rain fall on my head.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's commitment.
Well, your voice, Tasteless, the way that you word things, the things that you say, the way you say them to me, the look in your eye. That's it.
Oh, and we were informed it was a monitor problem. Monitor artosis, pretty important when you're playing a game.
Yeah, it normally you want to use your monitor to see what your opponent's doing.
I look at my stuff with it.
Yeah.
So you got to have that monitor.
Now, if you're really good at hotkeys,
can't do it.
And you're good at sound and hotkeys, maybe you can play with that monitor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
actually, I'm going to go ahead and tell a little fact to everyone. Way back,
it's a good story. Please.
Like 10 years ago or so, Slayer's Boxer actually played a blind StarCraft 1 player in an exhibition match where, for the first 5 minutes, I believe it was, Slayer's Boxer had to wear something over his eyes.
It was 5 minutes, I believe.
Where he couldn't see.
Five or 2, I thought.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was 5, but anyways, the kid 6-pulled Slayer's Boxer. So Slayer's Boxer lifted off his command center, floated it to the island, and then came back and won.
Well, he was allowed to take his blindfold off after 5 minutes.
So, but that's the funny thing, because the kid 6-pulled him, so the kid would have won if Slayer's Boxer was
if he was
Zerg
like Protoss
or
Protoss. Yeah.
But instead he's like, he lifts off, he goes to the island, and then comes back.
This is going to be bad for my career. Like, lift.
It's a true story. That actually happened.
So there was somebody who could play at least the first few minutes of the game blind.
That kid, I heard he was actually pretty good. You just had to tell him what position he was in. He only played Lost Temple.
And actually, if I remember correctly, I believe he was actually... I'm actually our producer's sources. He was at the GSL... He was at the GSL Season 3 Finals.
Oh, you're such a bad faker.
I was trying to make it look like I was like,
wasn't...
You know
Didn't
what?
I see him at the finals of GSL
funny,
Season
now
3?
that you mention it, that old memory's kicking in. Thank you to our producer for letting us know that.
Yeah.
But he was at the GSL Season 3 Finals.
That's interesting. I
Still
didn't know
doing esports.
That's cool, man.
How about that?
Absolutely.
So we're getting the monitor fixed. We might have to get it replaced. We got so much technology stuff in the backstage. We got so much... I sound like an old guy right now saying...
It's like a broadcasting studio for computer games.
Stuff,
Yeah.
We got a lot of keyboards and extra equipment backstage, so just sit tight. This actually reminds me of when I did the StarCraft 1 finals for GOM TV with Flash against Stork, and Flash was playing, and I guess he moved his feet a little bit farther under the desk and kicked out his monitor cord. Wow. Imagine that, and then having to pause F10P and thinking, and spamming like, I need to get a rep in here. Now the game went on, and I'm not sure who won the game that where the pause occurred, but Flash did manage to pull through with a victory there. But yeah, so this stuff happens. Sit tight. There is a little bit of downtime though, Artosis, so they could. What could they do?
Well, they can sit here and listen to us ramble.
You might want to clip your toenails.
You better do that over a wastebasket.
Yeah, don't do it on the carpet.
Your mom is going to be angry with that.
Your girlfriend's going to be mad at you if you do that. But a little something you could do to kill some time. Maybe microwave, another.
We're just going to start.
We're in. We're on.
Yeah.
So we'll get the game screen up for you guys.
Put those clippers down.
Put those clippers away.
StarCraft time.
All right, it's time. Focus. Get your pen and notepad out. And here we go. All right, we're back. Thank you for your patience. So today, the studio packed. Lots of non-Koreans down here today for the start of Codex. A real treat.
Yeah.
To meet any of you that want to come down here. We love esports. We love StarCraft.
Yeah.
We love sharing our passions with you.
That is my life, Tasteless.
That's how I roll.
Sharing my passion for StarCraft, whether it be 1 or 2.
Yep.
Nowadays, just 2 with the world.
That's
now,
right.
MVP has actually gone for an uber fast expansion. The SCV of Hyperdub justifying that, going to that main base, going to see what he can see. He's going to see that he's, in fact, not playing Ring King Prime, so MVP has gotten 2 gases. It's like, oh, you're not Marine King.
Well, Hyperdub has pretty orthodox play, I'd say.
Yeah.
He is,
He's maybe a little bit
trickable.
Banshee-heavy stylistically, but yeah, overall, pretty solid.
I would say if there's a player who's going to be tricked in the series, it's Hyperdub. The thing is, he plays correctly. He reacts to what he sees, so if you give him false information...
Yeah.
I mean...
He almost reacts too much to what he sees. So if he doesn't see something, he doesn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Now, he is getting Blue Flame Hellions. So it looks like he's going to commit somewhat heavily to doing some damage now. Yeah, in fact, getting a starport as well, so he's going to drop some Blue Flame Hellions.
It's funny to see how much...
Or perhaps some Marines and then run in with the Hellions. But one way or the other, he has to get a lot of damage done to MVP early on.
It's funny to see how much more Blue Flame Hellions have played a role in StarCraft 2 out here in the GSL.
Yeah.
We started out being like, what? Are you really sure you want to get Blue Flame Hellions against Terran or against Protoss early? But actually, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
It actually quite mirrors the beginning of StarCraft 1. When StarCraft 1 was still a new game, everyone thought Vultures were terrible until we found out they were like the second best unit in the game next to the Mutalisks.
Oh yeah, I know.
They're actually like
I remember
the best thing ever, man.
No, I mean they're basically free and they have a build time of 0 Artosis.
Kind of like Marines in StarCraft 2.
That's right. No, I mean it's one of these things where, we had that same experience in StarCraft.
It takes
StarCraft
a while.
1 where people are like, well, wait a minute, these things actually deal so much damage, and I feel like that's now the Hellion.
Yeah, it takes
Here
a
in Star
while
2.
to learn how to micro them, how to use them against a certain amount of units, what numbers to get and everything. And I think they're just going to become more and more popular. It's a great unit. And they deal splash damage, Tasteless. Can you even imagine that?
Are you telling me they do splash damage?
They do splash damage.
I'm actually not good at speaking today. I'm like, splash damage?
It's okay.
Now we got Marauders coming out here. Nothing too crazy going on just yet. Obviously very different tech patterns. You do not want to be in the middle of the map against our Blue Terran. He's going to have map control. You don't want to be in the middle of the map and retreating, that's for sure, with those Blue Flame Hellions.
Well, Tasteless, there's a bunker in front of MVP's natural, so what will Hyperdub do? He does have a medevac now. So I feel like he may just drop some units, try to lure all the units away to defend that, and then go in with the other units.
Looks like he's going for Banshee as a follow-up.
Yeah, Blue Flame Hellions going to be dropped.
Here we go.
MVP very quick to move. He does have some Siege Tanks, Marines, and Marauders, so they're going to come out.
He didn't actually get a single kill there.
Yeah, this is not going well so far for him.
Oh, he's got to be careful. The angle here.
He's got the Marines as well. He's got to stay out of range of that bunker. Unfortunately, he loses a Blue Hellion already. He's in a bad spot right now, Tasteless. And this is just not going well for Hyperdub. MVP totally neutralizing this.
Hyperdub is not... Yeah, I was going to say he's pulling out so late. Yeah. I mean, he was basically like, wait a minute, am I losing this? Well, I got one Marine. That's not good against countless red units.
That's right, and now even we have MVP with a Viking chasing off the medevac. But Cloak is almost done for Hyperdub's Banshee.
Yeah.
Gonna have to see, unfortunately for him, almost 3 scans saved up at this point. So that's gonna be more than enough for MVP to get rid of that Banshee.
This is interesting. You know, talk about bad timing. The Cloak's just when the Viking spots it, and frankly, I don't think he's going to do enough damage here. We got 4 kills there. A little bit more now. Ouch. I do like MVP's style of basically saying, well, I'm basically just going to focus on defending.
Yeah.
Whatever Hyperdub throws at me, and usually if they're the weaker player, they tend to be the first to impulsively attack. Oh, hold that thought, though. Look at this.
Yeah, triple starport. And as I said, if Hyperdub's style goes towards anything, it goes towards Banshees. So looks like he's going to try to play a very Sky Terran heavy type of game. And in fact, it looks to me like he's doing something that actually kind of popped up on the Team Liquid forums relatively recently, which is use a lot of Hellions, Banshees, and Vikings. And late game, you can even see BCs with this Tasteless.
Well, it would certainly transition into it pretty well when you consider there's Banshees, you know, that are made from the tech lab, and then you can easily get the battle cruisers and stuff like that in there. Yeah, fans for OGSMC, although he's not playing yet. So good to see that.
That is right.
So it looks like he's going to try to bully his way into a position where he just has complete air dominance, and if the Terran is too tank Marauder heavy, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So, looks like we're going to have another Blue Flame Hellion drop coming pretty quickly. Now, you may want to target some SCVs with this. You may also want to take out as many Marines as possible to make way for his Banshees.
I got to hand it to Hyperdub. He's definitely playing very outside of the box.
Yeah, well, you know, this is just starting to get popular on the US server. And, you know, this is one strategy that can definitely be credited over there. Actually, I echo IC, however you pronounce that. This guy who kind of made this a little bit popular lately. And the Blue Flame Hellion drop is about to happen.
Huge. Oh, I believe. Did he get all Hellions out?
Very nice.
Uh-oh.
No, it looks like he only did get 3, but...
Positioning, not so good here for MVP.
Oh,
with the
bam!
Nice turnaround there. MVP, I certainly could have lost more.
Yeah, in fact,
that was
his
some good
SCV
damage.
count is quite lower now. He's only got 37 to 51 SCVs of Hyperdub.
Now he's stockpiling the Banshees and Vikings. He doesn't exactly want to show how many he has just yet. Because this is one of those things where it's all about revealing this at the right time in the right place. You don't just go for this and show him your hand, so to speak. But MC is actually moving out on the map. This is his first time really being aggressive here.
This is a very good timing as well. The Banshee's going to have to do insane damage if he wants to hold. He has to take out all those Marines.
You know what? It looks like Hyperdub is going to hold this.
Oh, wow. Hyperdub.
Well, hold that thought that there are more Marines coming up here now.
Yeah, he's going to have to take care of those.
Maybe I spoke too soon. He needs to get out of the scan region.
Indeed, he does. But if he can take out all those Marines Tasteless, things are going to change. You should be lifting up that command center, running those SCVs behind the minerals. Just keep everything alive as long as possible.
Just barely out of that siege tank range. Well, except for those SCVs. But he has taken his opponent's position out. He's not mining from there. He did take out some SCVs. Let me check on your computer here real fast, Rtosis. The SCV count is even out to 43 to 43. And MC is actually very eager to just try to really hammer this home.
Yeah. And he's doing huge amounts of damage to Hyperdub. Hyperdub really, he needs more Banshees out there. He needs to take out all of these Marines. And bam, the Blue Flame Hellion doing some good damage there. Now the Banshee should be able to clean up the rest of this. But in come more Marines, more Vikings as well. Oh, yes, so many Vikings, but they are not helping out yet.
Uh-oh. You know what? I don't think that Hyperdub can recover from this. I think he might fend this off, but I mean, that's going to be such an uphill battle.
Exactly.
I mean, wow.
He is going to hold on, but at this point, MVP is looking pretty sharp.
Yeah.
You know, he's got, actually, it's a similar SCV count. And supply-wise, it's 82 to 75 with MC in the lead.
The problem is MC, I mean, excuse me, you say MC, you mean MVP.
MVP.
MVP can actually just transition into whatever he wants now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Hyperdub that's going to have to struggle to get back the ground that he's lost. I mean, his All his structures have been relocated. Some of his tech tree has been reset.
Yeah, that's quite true. You know, looks like he's even lost a starport, making a third starport once again. But, you know, he's got a good number of Vikings right now.
You know what's funny also is the Banshees. The number of Banshees he has actually can kill Marines so quickly.
Yeah.
That if he catches them by surprise, it's going to be pretty bad.
Pretty deadly. Well, MVP just kind of macroing up right now. Focusing more on his Viking counts and his Marine counts than his tank counts now. Realizes he doesn't really need tanks all that badly. We do have some Blue Flame Hellions moving up and around the map. Seeing what they can see.
Well, I guess MVP is going to try to attack again. I wouldn't do this, but I'm also not Game Genie Terran.
That's right.
So
he can attack whenever he wants to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, normally the rule we say is when you get ahead, what you want to do now is try to expand and defend and wait for them to expand again, then you attack.
Well, he certainly is expanding, so he's got that
doing
part
two
right.
things at once, but maybe he feels he's so far ahead he can do two things at once.
Yeah, maybe he wants to set on some more pressure before Hyperdub's number of Banshees gets too high.
Yeah, Banshee numbers sort of, the more you get, then suddenly they get this exponential increase in power.
And this is going to be pretty rough for Hyperdub to take out.
He needs to make a Viking flower. Nope.
And
no scan, no scan.
Thing is, who has more Vikings here? It looks like Hyperdub may.
Well, if he target fires these Vikings, he might be able to do something.
I think Hyperdub's going to be able to hold on, but he's losing a lot of SCVs to those siege tanks. Did not run his SCVs, surprisingly. You really have to do that. I mean, you don't just let your SCVs mine while the siege tanks are coming.
I think the Viking advantage is going to swing into MVP with this one Viking here.
But more Vikings are there, so we'll take that out. No more vision
out of here
for MVP.
Yeah, I don't know if MVP should have done that. I think he just needed to wait. Ouch. Forced stim.
Well, right now, Hyperdub, 47 SCVs against 60 of MVP. MVP's third command center has just finished up. So it's closer than maybe it's looking, but I can't believe he actually just kept mining and let his SCVs die there.
Well, I think there was this moment where he saw, well, wait a minute, MVP should be attacking me here. He's going to turn around. I don't want to lose more mining time, but actually that mistake is going to cost his economy heavily.
Yeah. So very interesting. You see a lot of Blue Flame Hellions out at this point. A good number of Banshees still. He's got 6 or 7. And then still making his Vikings. In the meantime, we have even more starports being made by MVP as he gets his turrets up there to get more Vikings out. Realizes he needs a lot of those. He has a lot of Marines right now. But of course, a huge amount of Blue Flame Hellions is going to be able to deal with those.
I got to say, Hyperdub's in not as bad of a spot as I thought.
Well, you know, this strat hasn't caught on yet on the Korean server.
This is from the North American server.
It absolutely is. And the thing is, OGS lives with Team Liquid. So, you know, General probably saw this and said, hey, Hyperdub, you like Banshees? Here you go. Here's some replays of it. Here's how you do it. And look at this, man. I mean, he's doing a great job so far. In fact, the supply is 125 and 144 in MVP's favor.
MVP edging out here, and he's got to be careful and not let those Hellions get hit by any siege tank fire. And it's all about the concave here from MVP, but nice. Goes around to the corner of that. Here are the Banshees now.
Oh, man, that's a lot of Marines.
Who's going to win that? It looks like the Marines, you know, with their DPS, their damage per second so high. Ouch. Amazing. And yes, that's right. Marines stimmed are faster than a Viking flying.
That's
I just
right.
want to point out how fast you would actually have to run to catch up to something with a rocket pack on its back.
That is pretty quick. Well, it really is looking hugely in the favor of MVP after that battle. You know, he spread out very well. The Blue Flame Hellions were not as useful as Hyperdub obviously wanted them to be.
Yeah.
And funny enough, right now, Hyperdub is hugely heavy on gas, despite buying all these gas-heavy units. So he's got about 1,200 gas. If he can equalize and actually spend all that gas, his army is going to be very, very fearsome.
Well, this is interesting to see Hyperdub do this. This is one of those strategies, you know, since I stopped playing Terran a while ago, started playing Protoss again. I kind of want to go back on Battle.net and experiment with this. I think, you know, if you're one of these guys that's high ranking, this might be a strategy that could win you a lot of games. It's certainly not used a ton.
Well, people aren't used to this yet, so that's certainly part of it. Hyperdub sending all his SCVs over, getting that third base going finally. It's definitely something very important, but MVP just kind of taking the map right now. When MVP gets ahead, Tasteless, he just gets more and more ahead. That's why he's the best player in the world.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about MVP is that no matter how bizarre the situation gets, he seems to be so flexible.
Yeah.
And even when he makes a mistake, it's just like, all right, well, you know, I'll defend for a while. Focus on more conservative play, and here we go. Now it's all going to be up to the Vikings here, the Sky Siege Tanks. And frankly, I think Hyperdub didn't control his Vikings quite that well. He sort of banked off to the bottom left and absorbed a ton of extra shots, and boom.
MVP with way too many Vikings there, and Hyperdub is in just a terrible spot right now. This is going to be so hard for him to get out of.
Even though this location's mined out, it's just another bad position to be in. All he has is that location at the center right to use. I mean, that's it.
He's bringing his Blue Hellions around in the middle of the map. What is he going to do with them?
Probably wants to go for MVP's hidden expansion. Nope.
Roast some Marines on the way.
It burns.
Blue Flames, Tasteless, are hotter than red flames.
I know. Makes me think of that blue flame when I'm cooking something on the stove.
Yeah, man, that stuff's hot. Don't
It's
touch
hot,
that flame,
man.
Tasteless. Don't wave your finger over that like
Don't
you do with
do
the
it.
lighter.
Just like Mom warned you when you were a kid, don't touch the stove.
It's true.
You're gonna burn yourself.
And the Blue Flame Hellions run into a siege tank. Uh-oh, Hyperdub's base going to be attacked by some Marines here with Stim.
Oh, he's going to battle cruisers. Very nice. Uh-oh. Cleaning up this remaining expansion. I don't know if there's actually any way now for Hyperdub to recover.
Yeah, well,
the game will go on, but
he's got half the supply of his opponent, 89 supply to 186.
And actually,
MVP crushing face here, making battle cruisers.
MVP's expanded again, too.
MVP even getting battle cruiser upgrades. It's pretty awesome. I don't think I've ever seen battle cruiser upgrades in a pro game. Hyperdub stretching thin, getting siege tanks at this point.
Ouch. I feel bad for Hyperdub because losing this means he's going to have to play,
well,
either
losing or winning, he has to play a
MC.
sick monster next as well.
Yeah, I mean, poor guy. All right, battle cruisers are out now. That's going to change everything because, of course, battle cruisers can hit air and ground, and now we have Stim. I can't see how many Banshees there are. Looks like there are not enough, though, as they die oh so quickly. GG. Wow.
And MVP wins that. Very interesting game.
I got to say, Hyperdub played much better than I expected.
Yeah.
That style was interesting. It was cool. MVP sort of played standard.
Yeah, no, I think it was a good choice for him to do. That's not something that the pre-metagame was ready for.
No, caught MVP off guard.
It certainly did. He didn't really know quite what was going on, and if Hyperdub had actually crushed that first attack a little bit better, things could have gone differently.
He's got his trophy.
But his eye drops, doesn't want to get his eyes dry. Nice, moist eyes.
Talk about that. He's had his eyes open for so long in that game. That actually indicates really how hard he was actually playing in that game.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? He suddenly realized his strat. He hadn't played against it before, and he did make a mistake. He attacked, tried to siege up, and win that, and made a mistake. Hyperdub, had some opportunities to come back, but MVP is the game genie Terran. So here we go. Up next, at the bottom of our screen, it's going to be July Zerg against
sick
MC.
Matchup, Tasteless. Sick matchup. The winner of this is going to have an excellent shot to get through this group.
I love these screen format. It's like the Hollywood Squares. You know what I mean? We got Oprah Winfrey down there.
We got Whoopi Goldberg, man.
Whoopi Goldberg down there. She's a Protoss player. But July Zerg and MC, these guys have a rivalry.
Yeah, they do. MC, of course, knocked July Zerg out. I believe it was 2-1 in the season that MC won, right? So we see here are their points so far. In 2011, 130 versus 450, so not many points. Yeah.
Then again, I mean, this is code-ass. I mean, think about like not having a lot of points in Masters. It's like, well, you're still Masters. You know?
Sunlight Caverns will be the map. July took out Crevasse, and C took out Scrap Station for choice.
I think this is actually the best map to see these two play on.
This is definitely going to be a fun map for it. Will MC be super aggressive and try to kill him off one or two base? Or will he, take that gold base and just kind of control the map? I'm interested to see. Now, July, on the other hand, is he going to try some crazy all-in-ish type of thing? Will he go for Mutalisks, perhaps?
I would bet
he's one of the few Zergs that still does like Mutalisks in Zerg vs. Protoss somewhat.
On Zelnaga Caverns, Zerg has to be careful to kind of avoid the center of the map. it's just an ugly place you encounter Protoss.
God of War wants revenge.
You know what's funny about this is July Zerg's nickname from StarCraft 1 was God of War, but of course in StarCraft 2, Artosis and I have nicknamed MC the Kratos Protoss from the God of War video game series due to his
Way
play
rips the
style.
arms off of people when
He's
he
just like,
destroys them.
he's like, I'm gonna kill you, and then he's just like, that music starts, it's like Kratos, and he just goes up there and just rips them apart. MC. Countdown's begun, so let's get ready for some ZVP action here. July Zerg against MC here at the GSL with Phases and Artosis. This is Code S. Get ready.